part two of our feedback on section C. Okay, so now I'm looking, and we're talking about the Through the Window piece from 2018 paper. So this is the mark scheme. I will put the mark scheme into the stream. So this is the mark. So here's section C, right? So if we read through the assessment objectives just quickly. Assessment objectives AO2 is assessment objective 2. Adapt forms and types of writing for specific purposes and audience using appropriate styles, 25 marks. AO3, assessment objective 3, write clearly using a range of vocabulary and sentence structures with accurate spelling, paragraphing, grammar and punctuation, 10 marks. You're fairly accurate, aren't you? Doing well, actually. Okay, so let's have a little look. Which one did you do? I think you did 12C. So it was a view from the window, wasn't it? Which is really general and it enabled you to do what you want, basically. So the examiners say candidates may choose a range of views which may be real or imaginary. These may be pleasant and attractive, but may also be unpleasant. The views may be rural, coastal, urban, or industrial. Candidates should be rewarded for their powers to evoke a sense of place and atmosphere using effective vocabulary. Examiners should be open to a wide range of interpretation. So they're looking for, either a sense of disgust or a sense of pleasure or a sense of joy or a sense of coziness or a sense of home. They're looking for a meaning, a message in there. So, yeah, we'll have a look at yours. We'll look at the message that you've got there. Yeah, try and sort of say, I will be in the garden later. Later on, I'll go into the garden and just bathe briefly in the sun to enjoy my vitamin D. I'm so lucky to have this small but beautiful space. We need some kind of point of view in there, I think, probably. Some sort of message. Or last year, when we moved in, this was a wasteland, but now it's a cozy, homely space or something. Probably. Okay, anyway. So AO2, use professional judgment to award up to 25 marks according to the following grid. Placing in any of the mark bands should be on a best fit basis. So level 1 is the writing achieves limited success at a basic level. There is little awareness of the purpose of the writing. The writing uses a limited vocab and shows little variety of sentence structure. Organisation of the middle is simple and limited, with limited success and in introducing and developing a response. So level 1 is between 1 and 5 out of 25. Obviously, you are not limited. Level 2, 6 out of 10. The writing expresses ideas which are broadly appropriate. Well, no, I don't agree. Yours are appropriate. There is some grasp of the purpose of the writing. Well, you have got grasp of it. The writing shows some evidence of control in the choice of vocab and sentence structure. You've definitely got control. Organisation of the material shows some grasp of text structure and opening. You have actually got an opening structure looking out the window and then a closing when you're going to go downstairs. And you've got appropriate paragraphing. So no, level 3. 11 to 15, the writing expresses and develops clear ideas in a clear and organised way. Yes. There is a generally clear sense of the purpose of the writing. Yes. The writing includes well-chosen vocab and shows some evidence of crafting the construction of sentences. Yes, some evidence. You see, we want to have detailed evidence, which is why we want colons and semicolons in there. Organisation of the material is mostly sound with a clear text structure, control paragraph, and to reflect opening, development, and closure together with secure use of cohesive devices. They're things like but, however, having seen, blah, blah. So, yeah, you have actually got secure use of cohesive device, which is the participles and things like luckily, later, or however, or in the garden. So you have actually got those, actually. So level 3. So, you've got some evidence of crafting. Let's have a look at level 4. The writing presents effective and sustained ideas. Yes, there is a secure, sustained realization of the purpose of the writing. I'm not sure. Yeah, the purpose is to look out of the window and enjoy it before you start your day. A bit more clear on purpose, but you've got it. The writing has aptly chosen vocab and well-controlled variety in the construction of sentences. Yes. Organisation of the material is fully secure with a well-judged text structure, effective paragraphing, successful use of a range of cohesive devices between and within paragraphs. Let's just look at yours again. Today is a warm, bright, sunny day, so that's a successful use. The sky is very blue between our houses. Yeah, so that that's a cohesive device basically. There, I just underline it between. It's basically things to make it sort of flow. So I'll put flow. They call it cohesive devices. Okay, but you've actually got that. But you know, use them. Things like however. This is where the flashback could come in as well. Last year. Yeah, so cohesive devices. Moving on to the floor now. Yeah, this is good. That's a cohesive device. So good. Yeah, cohesive device. And the most eye-catching thing is the bright green grass covering the garden. Yeah, bright green. You could put 3 there, and then you'd get a rule of 3 one, wouldn't you? Add shining. Is that real grass or pretend grass? Anyway, there's also a tree. The last major thing I can see. Yeah, so you've got those cohesive devices. Let's go back to the mark scheme. So level 4, 16 to 20. So I'm putting it there, I think. I think it actually goes happily there. Let's look at level 5, which I think is a top level. The writing achieves precision and clarity, presenting compelling and fully developed ideas. Well, it's not a powerful message in there. There's a strong, consistent fulfillment of the writing task. Sharply focus on the writer's purpose. Yeah, the writer's purpose is to sort of give us a sort of a picture of the garden. And yeah, I think we need more of a message, really, but you know, that's fine. Slightly more of a message. Writing has extensive vocabulary and mature control in the construction of varied sentence forms. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. What you need is some more varied sentence forms, which is the colon and the semicolon. And be careful of your vocabulary. You have actually got quite a good vocabulary, to be honest. You've got distinguished and resides and stuff like that. So that's brilliant. So yeah, carry on like that. Read every day for half an hour in the lead up to the exam so you can carry on using those kind of words, vocabulary. Okay. So it's semicolons and colons and participle phrases. And also relative clauses. I think probably you need to look at relative clauses as well. And bracketed commas. I think if you add those in again, you're doing well there. Organisation of material is assured with sophisticated control of text structure, skillfully sustained paragraph, and the effective application of a wide range of markers of textual cohesions. So again, you're organising the material in an assured way, and it's skillfully put together with a wide range of effective markers of textual cohesion. I think more carefully about your markers of textual cohesion. Use some more participles, I think, and more adverbial phrases to start. Happily, luckily, decidedly. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to put that here then. So there seems to be a bit. So okay, what is missing? 10 points. And so cohesion markers. That's what they call them. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's what they call cohesion markers. So I want to look at basically, and then also I want to look at sentence structure. So I want to look at relative clauses. So we're going to have a video on that. A video on relative clauses. And I'm also cohesion markers. So adverbial phrases. I'll do a worksheet on that, okay? Hang on, let me just do a worksheet on adverbial phrases. I think I've got one in here. Okay. Let me just find it. Yeah, clause phrases. Let me have a look. Here it is. Hmm. Yeah, so you want adverbial phrases. Here's some adverbial phrases. She has spoken, um, link it with very bravely, too loudly, dangerously fast, surprisingly well. Um, so she has spoken too loudly, extremely clearly. Um, So those are adverbial phrases basically that make a sentence more interesting. Okay. Um, so we'll just put that here. Where are you? That's not really the one I want, to be honest. Adverbial. Ah, fronted adverbials. Here we are. That's what I want. Anyway, adverbs is what you need to be using. The commas after fronted adverbial. Immediately after dinner, cautiously in the box. From somewhere in the distance, comma, a voice was singing. Without warning, comma, there was a sudden rush of water. Just a few metres above them, comma, there was a spaceship. Late that night, the wizards gathered for a meeting. Shortly after the war, comma, William started a new business. With great enthusiasm, the children set to work building a den. So rewrite each sentence so it begins with the adverbial. So do this one for me for homework. Anxiously, she watched and waited. Wearily, they made their way home. Before the game, we warmed up. And then we have a comma first, okay? Um, write two sentences about a stormy night. Start each sentence with a fronted adverbial. So just do those, question 2 and 3. And also the fronting subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses starting with conjunction to give more detail about the main clause. When a subordinate clause is placed at the start of a sentence, it is separated from the main clause from a comma, by a comma. But when it's at the end, it isn't. Okay? So although it was 9 o'clock, the shop was closed, there's a comma. But if the shop was closed, although it was 9 o'clock, there'd be no comma. Okay? Write that down. Because it was flooded, the shop was closed. Again, it's a fronted subordinate clause. Okay? Rewrite each sentence with a subordinate clause at the beginning of the sentence. Punctuate the sentence correctly. So these are I'll ask you to do this for homework. Complete the subordinate clause at the start of each sentence. Punctuate it correctly. So you actually put a comma in the wrong place with although. So when you put although at the end of the sentence, you put a comma. You don't need a comma there. Okay. So you just put a comma at the beginning and not at the end. So I'm just going to share this with you. Okay. Share. I just want to do that worksheet. Jack. Okay. So there we are. There's the worksheet. Send. Commas after fronted adverbials. And the other one. Fronting subordinate clauses. Okay. Cautiously. And it's this cautiously, wearily, sadly, that we're looking at. So hang on, let me just put this in here. Let's just go back and then I will put this in your work. My recent document, there we are. Right, so homework. Yeah, so 10 sentences with semicolon, 10 sentences with colons, and the worksheet shared on fronted subordinate clauses and adverbials. Okay, so that's the cohesive devices we're looking at. But you're good at that anyway. We're just what we're doing is we're trying to. I think the fronted adverbials I want you to work on things like sadly, decidedly. I don't know, all of those kind of ones. So you could add some fronted adverbs to the piece. Okay, just add about 4, just for the fun of it. So I'm going to put that in a different colour. This is your homework. That colour. No, that's too dark. Homework. Okay. Yeah, so there's your homework. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now I'm just going to have a look. I'm going to give you the mark, aren't I, on this? Let me give you a mark on this. So I'm going to put you, because you're not using enough fronted adverbials, or you could use fronted subordinate clauses, that kind of stuff, which I've just given you the worksheets on. I'll probably give you 16, 17, about 18. I'm going to give you 18. And then, so let me just put this here, 18. So, no, 19. I'm going to give you 19 for the reasons I've outlined. So, 18, I think. It's obviously it's a debate, isn't it? And I'm a harsh marker. Okay, so the next bit is we've got 10 marks to give you for punctuation and grammar. So level 1 is basic punctuation is used with some control. Grammatical structuring shows some control. Spelling of common words is usually correct, though inconsistencies are present. That's not you. Level 2, 3 to 4. Full stops, capital letters, question marks are used together with some other marks, mostly correctly. That's not you. Grammatical structuring is simple and some complex sentences, usually correct. Spelling of simple words and more complex words is usually correct. So that's not you even. Control of punctuation is mostly secure, including use of speech marks and apostrophes. Yeah, you need some speech marks in there. Grammatical structures are accurate and used to convey meanings with only occasional errors. Spelling of a wide range of words is accurate. Yeah, I'm just going to add here, you need some dialogue. Dialogue, you're going to get marks for that. Dialogue. Your marks for showing you can write speech. So add some dialogue. You can say, I said to myself, comma, dot, 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 dot. And then you've got the dialogue bit. Okay, good. Let's go back. Punctuation is accurate. So level 4 is 7 to 8 punctuation, and I think you're probably there. Punctuation is accurate with a wide range of marks used to enhance communication according to particular focus within this triplet. A wide range of grammatical structure is used effectively and accurately to examine the writer's chosen issues. Spelling is almost always accurate with only occasional slips. Level 5, control of the full range of punctuation marks is precise. Now that's where you want to get. enabling intended emphasis and effects to be conveyed, e.g. by the deployment of semicolons, pairs of commas, or dashes. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about, you see. That's where we need to do. I'm going to look at that. Grammatical structure is ambitious, assured with sophisticated control. Spelling of a wide and ambitious vocabulary is consistently accurate. So I'm going to give you 7 marks. 7, yeah. But what you want to do, you want to get into this range because it actually affects the whole understanding. Because the punctuation and grammar and structuring actually affects your other mark basically as well. Because it's not really a science, is it? So 7. So if I put that there, this is what we're aiming for. Yeah, so I need to do pairs of commas and dashes as well, which is what I said, bracketed commas. So we need to do bracketed commas. So to do. So, I'm not sure how long this video is yet. Anyway, let's just give yourself a mark. So we're giving you 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 out of 35, which isn't bad, is it? Because it's accurate. It's solid. I don't know, maybe 24 out of 35. Anyway, does it tell you what grade that is? Anyway, so you know that's sound basically. I'd probably give it that'll probably be a level 6 overall. Okay, it's sound, it's solid, but what you need to do clearly is to go up the grain boundaries, have a bit more of a message in there, a bit of a flashback, some kind of feeling of before and after, some progression, and some more emotive language in there, perhaps, and all of those devices I've talked about, those grammatical devices. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the video on semicolons actually with Mr. Bruff before I finish. So if I go here, semicolons, Mr. Bruff. I mean, I don't know. I will use Mr. Bruff because I like him basically. And I don't want to bother to try and check out what other people are like. So we'll just do Mr. Bruff. Okay. And it's a revision then as well.
So in the new GCSE English language exams, we have the writing section of the exam, question 5 on paper 1 and question 5 on paper 2. And those questions are worth 40 marks.
Take notes, okay? I want to see the notes and I want to see semicolons this time, all right? You can see I've showed you the mark scheme. We need semicolons, all right?
Now 16 of those marks are awarded for spelling punctuation.
He's talking about AQA, but it doesn't matter. It's all the same standard, basically. You have to get the marks, and overall, you need to use semicolons to go up the grade boundaries.
Punctuation and grammar, what we call technical accuracy, assessment objective 6. So it's really important to master spelling, punctuation and grammar. And there are 2 sides to that. Number 1, your work should have no mistakes in it. But number 2, you should be deliberately crafting your usage of spelling, punctuation and grammar for effect. And what I'm going to look at today is the semicolon. The semicolon is thought of as the king of punctuation. Kurt Vonnegut says, do not use semicolons, all they do is show you've been to college. In other words, they're the educated person's punctuation. And I would agree with that. But surprisingly, they're very simple to use. So let's have a look at this couple of sentences at the top here. Our postman is called Derek. he wears a pink wig on Fridays. Now, these are two sentences that at the moment are divided by a full stop, and therefore we would take a breath between the two sentences and read it like this. Our postman is called Derek. He wears a pink wig on Fridays. But we know the two sentences are related. They're both about the same thing. Now, at this point, a lot of people put a comma in, but a comma is never used to divide two complete sentences. That isn't the job of a comma. That's called comma splicing. It's a very common mistake, if you'll pardon the pun, common. So we never do that, okay? What we do is we use a semicolon. Because the two sentences are about the same topic, we can divide them with a semicolon and no capital afterwards. This is a semicolon here, okay? Now, a couple of things to make clear, because I've taught semicolons before and then seen lots of mistakes that follow. It has to be two complete sentences on either side of the semicolon, okay? So a complete sentence makes sense on its own and contains a subject and a verb. A verb is an action, and the subject is the personal thing doing the action. So in the green sentence, the verb is wears. That's the action taking place, wearing something. The subject is the personal thing doing the action, he. Okay, so that's fine. Now, let's have a look. We cannot use semicolons with the conjunctions, the fanboys conjunctions that we use with compound sentences. All covered in the grammar playlist, by the way, or the grammar ebook at mrbruff.com. So you could have a sentence like this: I love Derek's wig, but I don't want to wear it. Now, here we don't have two complete sentences. I love Derek's pink wig, that is a complete sentence. But I don't want to wear it is not a complete sentence. It's got the conjunction but here, making this, of course, a compound sentence. And that is then correct for a comma, as you saw in my previous video on commas in this playlist. Commas divide the two clauses in a compound sentence. So we wouldn't use a semicolon here, because although the two bits are linked, this bit isn't a complete sentence. The other thing we can do with a semicolon is we can use it as a super comma. When you're writing a list, we divide items in a list with a comma. But if the items in the list are complete sentences, or if the items in the list already contain commas, it gets very confusing. So we divide those items in a list with a semicolon. This year, Derek delivered letters to Mr. Dinosaur, Dino World, the Wigmaker, Hairville, Mr. Bruff, Dartmoor, and me. Okay, so can you see what's happening here? Because we've already got these commas, Mr. Dinosaur, Dino World, it would be silly to put another comma here to divide the items, to divide the dinosaur from the wig maker from Mr. Bruff. So you can use a semicolon to divide items in a list if those items are complete sentences, or if those items in the list already contain commas. Quite simple, and it will revolutionize your work. The only thing I would finish by saying, though, is don't use loads of semicolons. When you start looking at a piece of writing, you'll actually realize, wow, I could use a semicolon almost all the time. In a piece of writing in an exam, you probably want to use 2 or 3. And I would suggest you use one in your opening paragraph. There's no point in impressing the examiner right at the end. You want to make it very clear to the examiner early on in your work, look, I know how to use semicolons, a range of commas, bracketing commas, apostrophes, sentence variety, all of those things, so you make a good impression. I hope you found this video useful. Please do subscribe to the channel.
Okay, so that's actually a really good video.
Hello everybody, and welcome.
So I'll just stop him. Whoops.
Hey guys, here is your whole topic.
Go away. Right, okay, so you need to do a semicolons basically, don't you? So can you make sure that you write me a list using semicolons, it's 10 sentences with semicolons, 10 sentences with colons, worksheet shared on fronted subordinate clause and adverbials, e.g. sadly decided, and add some adverbials to the piece about for, or write me 4 sentences using them, just so that you know what they are. Okay, but overall I'm happy with this. I will make you another video with feedback. Yeah, and I might make this a stream actually, so that I can come back to what we need to do. Stream, yeah, for November. Okay, so this can be our stream for November. All right, because I need to go through these next things, relative clauses, bracketed commas and dashes. Okay. All right then, I hope you found that helpful, and I will upload it. That is your homework. I will make you another video. Oh, actually, no, another piece of homework. Sorry, I'm going to give you another piece of homework. Do the section B. Do section B. So do section B and C on the happiness paper. Okay, that's this week's homework. Okay, because you haven't done that, have you? I'll go and check. I don't think you have. All right then.